All right, this is Math 10 A&W with Mr. Sandhu. We're on page 42 of Mathworks 10 workbook. This is example 4, and the unit that we are in is, well, we're in chapter 1.3 still here. Okay, example 4. Before we talk about example 4, I'm just going to kick back here because we're starting a new concept. We're starting with working with markups and taxes. So they're just giving you some background information here. I'm not going to read it to you. I just want to point out what markup actually is here. So markup is the difference between the amount a dealer sells a product for and the amount they paid. All right. Basically, if I buy something for 10 bucks and I sell it for 20, right? I've marked it up twice as much. Make sense? So that's what markup is. That's 100% markup. I've doubled my money that I invested. So that's markup. Example 4, Melanie owns a clothing store. Her standard markup is 85%. She bought a coat from the wholesaler at 125 bucks. What would the markup be? Well, what they're saying is, like, what would the markup be in dollars? We already know what the markup is in percent. I'm rewriting that question a bit. It's 85% markup. But in dollars, how much money is that? So we need to determine in A how much 85% is of the 125. All right. And then the next question says, how much would Melanie charge a customer for the coat? So then what's the actual price going to be if that's the markup? So the solution here, it says change 85% to a decimal. I agree with that. That's the quickest way to do this. So they've taken 85 and divided it by 100 to give you 0.85. 0.85 is the decimal equivalent. And then they say to multiply the wholesale price by the markup. So they want to know, what is 85% of 125? So they multiply those two together, which is what we did in 1.3 example 2. So they are taking, and I'll write this out because sometimes it works better for you guys. We're taking the 85%, converting it to a decimal, there it is. And then we're going to take, and I'm going to write it a little differently than they did. I'm going to say, I want to know what 85% of the $125 wholesale cost is. And the markup, after you punch that into a calculator, is 106.25. Now that's the actual dollars that they're going to mark up the coat by. All right, fine. So that's the markup. And then in B, what's the price going to be? Well, that's pretty simple. If you start with $125 wholesale cost and you add the 106.25 that you're going to profit, or the markup, then you get a retail price of $231.25. That would be the sticker price based on buying it for 125 bucks, marking it up 85%, which equals 106.25, and then your final price to sell it for is $231.25. That's how you do a question like that. I'm going to ask you guys to do an example, and then we'll make sure that you can do this together before we get onto the homework. But for now, for this video, that's it.